A former SBA and IRS employee has been charged with running a multi-year scheme that stole more than $3.5 million from federal COVID-19 relief programs.
How much?
$3.5 million.
One person. Wow. Okay.
One person. So this is a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office of Northern District of Georgia. Prosecutors say that Attila Williams exploited insider access at both agencies to approve fraudulent applications, recruiting accomplices through Instagram and paying kickbacks. So I'm imagining the way this fraud went down. Here's the Instagram video. You could get your share of your COVID relief money. And then she gets a client, and then she goes in and approves the application on the back end side, and then gets a kickback from the client.
Wow.
And so this happened for roughly 3 years, spanned multiple pandemic programs. It touched the EIDL loans, Paycheck PPP program, the EIDL advance grants, and then the employee retention credit. So she touched all the different pandemic fraud possibilities. It touched all the programs. First, she obtained a job at the SBA, then later at the IRS, and used that insider access to approve the claims. So that really what this does, though, this exposed the lack of internal controls. Like, if one person can approve fraudulent pandemic fraud,
And just go in and choose which ones to approve.
there's no controls at the federal level. And I know this ties back to the story last week. They're going after Minnesota when arguably the system was set up to encourage fraudulent behavior. But maybe it's not so much that. It could be more like Haman's razor, the whole like don't attribute malice that could be explained by incompetence, you know.
Here's one way the system could have prevented this, like an internal control, could have prevented this, is randomly assign applications to reviewers. Don't allow them to go in and pick and choose which ones to review and approve. But I guarantee you that wasn't part of the system because, like you said, a lot of these ancient systems that SBA, IRS are using, these government agencies are using, don't have those internal controls, or they've been disabled for convenience.